Right now, we follow the fallout from the shooting at President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania, an assassination attempt on Trump that leaves one audience member dead. Also, the attempt on Trump's life yesterday made history, what one historian wants you to remember about political violence throughout America's lifetime. And we're following how the RNC is updating security following yesterday's events. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 5:30. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. Tonight we continue coverage on the aftermath of the attempted assassination on President Donald Trump's life. We have team coverage. Our Will Keneally is in Milwaukee with more on the security measures ahead of this week's RNC, and Braden Ross has more on the historical context of assassination attempts on important figures in U.S. history. But before we get to those, CBS's Natalie Brand has more on the details out of Milwaukee.
Former President Trump's supporters stood vigil outside his New Jersey golf club where he spent Sunday recovering as the investigation into his attempted assassination continues.
Quite jovial, just wants to get back at it.
Trump says a bullet grazed his ear during the shooting at his Pennsylvania rally Saturday. Sunday, on social media, he said he would not let the shooter prevent him from attending this week's Republican National Convention. He's set to arrive tonight. RNC delegates and volunteers shocked by the shooting say they will carry on.
How do you think the tone will change this week?
I think just like any situation where there's an impact, an attack on the country, which we saw yesterday, regardless of what party you're with, I think Americans tend to unite.
From the White House, President Biden says he spoke with Trump last night and also extends condolences to the family of the father who was killed.
He was protecting his family from the bullets that were being fired, and he lost his life. God love him. There's no place in America for this kind of violence, or any violence for that matter.
The president says he ordered the Secret Service to review its RNC security plan.
The Secret Service is working diligently with the Milwaukee Police Department, as well as all of our federal, state, and local partners to ensure a safe and secure convention.
At least 24 states have also sent officers to help patrol around the convention site. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Milwaukee.
There is increased security outside the White House Sunday as well, and the Trump campaign ordered its staff to stay away from both the Washington, D.C. and West Palm Beach offices Monday while they review security measures. And federal agents were spotted in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, where the gunman Thomas Crooks lived. Sources say the firearm the 20-year-old used in the assassination attempt was legally purchased and registered to the shooter's father. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News bystanders spotted Crooks shortly before the shooting and reported his presence to law enforcement. Officials momentarily lost track of the gunman minutes before he opened fire at the Trump rally, firing 6 to 8 rounds from an AR-style weapon approximately 400 feet from the podium.
This is not some game. This is not politics. A real human being lost their life.
Crooks' political leanings are unclear at the moment, but records show he was registered as a Republican voter in Pennsylvania. Now, the assassination attempt on Trump has already caused questions about what security changes will impact the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee on Monday. Political
Yeah, Jalen, so we're here in downtown Milwaukee, about as close as you can get to the Fiserv Forum. It's kind of back that way behind our camera there. About as close as you can get to the Fiserv Forum without a credential. Now, driving into I-94, a lot of the streets are already blocked off ahead of the RNC this coming week. But certainly, what changes are we going to expect after this weekend's shooting against former President Donald Trump? The U.S. Secret Service spoke to reporters just a few hours ago here.
And Chief mentioned this is a national special security event. That designation is the highest level of security designation that the federal government can determine. So we are confident in these security plans that are in place for this event, and we're ready to go. It's been an 18-month process. We've worked together over that 18 months to develop operational security plans for any and all aspects of security related to this event.
Now today as well, we are learning that Governor Tony Evers is requesting the Secret Service to reconsider allowing guns in what's called the soft perimeter. That's the few blocks surrounding the Fiserv Forum. Now that's reporting coming out of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. And we will stay here in Milwaukee providing you the very latest here throughout the night and next week. But until then, reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, well, thank you. Now, obviously, before the incident, we did a story leading up to the RNC, and at the convention, guns are not allowed inside the inner security perimeter, but they are in the outer perimeter. That's a concern for gun safety advocates like the Wisconsin anti-violence effort. The city has banned dozens of objects from the outer security zone, including tennis balls, coolers, and canned goods. Because of state law, they're not able to ban firearms. WAVE is worried about political tensions boiling over into violence.
Having guns in the equation is only going to make this so much more of a risk for everyone in Milwaukee. We think that it's incredibly dangerous that guns would be allowed within the security perimeter at the RNC. We're, very much concerned that this could be a situation where the city sees a lot of unrest.
Reported Governor Tony Evers has requested to change some of those rules as far as firearms being allowed inside of certain perimeters. Officials say they're trying to balance protesters' rights to express their views while securing the environment for attendees to the public. Next week, with extensive coverage of the Republican National Convention, starting on Monday morning, we'll have special guest interviews and more, all on News 3 Now newscasts over the 4-day event. We will also have a special stream show each night starting at 8:30 with highlights of the day's activities. That will be anchored from Milwaukee as well. In local reaction to the incident, Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett saying in a statement yesterday that there is no place for violence against an elected official or their families. He went on to say that the Dane County Sheriff's Office is committed to public safety for all members of our community and have dedicated available staff and resources to Milwaukee for the RNC later this week. And U.S. presidents have been no strangers to political violence in years past. In all of U.S. history, 4 U.S. presidents and 1 presidential candidate have been assassinated. Even more have survived attempts on their lives. Our Braden Ross sat down with a historian today to talk about the historical context we need to understand on this event and just how historic this moment is. Braden?
Yeah, this is a photo and an event that will go down in history. There are no questions about that. The attempt on former President Trump's life yesterday was the closest call we've seen since Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. It joins around a dozen other major assassinations or attempts on U.S. presidents or presidential candidates in history, beginning with Andrew Jackson all the way back in 1835. I asked UW-Madison historian Catherine McGarr how those attempts can help us understand the one we saw on former President Trump yesterday.
It does seem like every president is under extreme threat of being assassinated. And again, there doesn't have to be a particular political reason. Sirhan, who assassinated Robert F. Kennedy, had a political agenda. And then other times it's, like the Hinckley attempt on Reagan, that there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to it, or he's trying to oppress an actress.
Now, she told me high-profile political violence like this has both brought Americans together and further divided us at different points in American history. And given how unique Trump has been as a historical figure already, historians will certainly be watching how this all plays out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Braden. Switching gears now, let's get a look at your first one forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex, what should we expect?
Hey, Jalen. Right now we're watching thunderstorms initiate over portions of southwestern Wisconsin. In conversation with the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center outlining southern Wisconsin for the potential of a severe weather watch to be issued at just about any time. And we are seeing those cells initiate across southwestern Wisconsin, as I mentioned. Let's go full screen here on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. This is a thunderstorm that's trying to form and trying to get some structure to it over Platteville as we speak right now. You can see that lowering in the center part of our screen. We don't have any warnings with this storm at this point in time, but the atmosphere is very volatile. We have a lot of humidity out there. A lot of heat has recovered, especially over southwestern Wisconsin. Here is that cell along and areas just north of Highway 80, just north of downtown Platteville as we speak right now, and I'm keeping a close eye on that storm. Additional storms are popping up over southeastern Crawford County and Richland County near the Richland Center area. And You can see these isolated storms popping up over southwestern Wisconsin. It's this initiation that our Storm Prediction Center and National Weather Service are having conversations about in terms of that watch potentially being issued for southern Wisconsin. Future track showing thunderstorms becoming potentially more widespread across the area. We'll be tracking those coming up in Maine weather.
All right, sounds good. Alex, thank you. More to come on News 3 now at 5:30. Political reporter Will Keneally is back with a reality check to recent statements about political violence.
I love the co-op because of the good food and it supports the community.
I love the fresh produce, coffee at the juice bar for while I'm shopping, and the large selection of bulk products.
I think the prices are great. I love the co-op because they make healthy food affordable for people.
I love the people who work here and the people who shop here.
The vibe is great, and they have fun cooking classes for kids.
I love the co-op. I come here almost every day.
It's kind of my mini vacation going there.
Here's to sweet summer days together in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment. Here's to supper club celebrations. And to a lifetime of memories. Here's to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder. And dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking, and all of them stain your teeth and make them yellow. It's time you discovered Power Swabs, the fast 5-minute revolutionary treatment.
The first time I tried it, I was so surprised. My husband was so excited that he wanted to run out and get it. He said, "What have you been trying?" I said, "Well, I've tried this product called Power Swab." And he said, "I can't believe how white your teeth are." From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Power Swabs will whiten natural teeth and remove stains from veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns.
This is a Power Swab smile.
This is a Power Swab smile.
Call, go online, or scan the code on your screen right now to receive 50% off. You'll also receive the Power Swabs Stain Out Quick Stick, absolutely free. And in addition, you will also get free shipping.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30. Moving forward.
The violent attack against former President Donald Trump has renewed conversations about political violence in our country. Earlier today, political reporter Will Keneally gave us a reality check.
Heading into the Republican National Convention this week, we may see a lot of rhetoric on the political violence and where it's coming from. Now, for that reason, we're doing a reality check for you, using as an example an interview we did with Congressman Derek Van Orden.
I want to be very clear. The reason that this took place is because the amount of negative vitriol that the leftists and many people in the Democrat Party have been spewing about President Trump.
Now, we're still early yet into the investigation into the shooting, but as of right now, the FBI does not know the motive of the shooter. Now, Van Orden says that these Biden comments are what contributed to the vitriol.
Saying that MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump are an existential threat to the United States of America, that we're a threat to democracy.
These are true comments coming from President Biden. This is from September 2022.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Now again, though Biden did say this, we don't know if these comments or comments like them are the reason the Pennsylvania shooter attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Now, the FBI does not have a motive yet.
Well, let's remember, political violence started in a big way when a Bernie Sanders supporter shot up the Republican congressional baseball team.
It's true that that event was a major political act of violence, but it's partially false to say that this is where it started. Notably, Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords survived an assassination attempt back in 2011.
But the vast majority, by orders of magnitude, of the political violence we have seen in the last more than a decade have come from the left.
Now, we could not find any evidence to support this claim here. The closest that we could find to this was a University of Chicago survey cited in The Guardian. Now, it shows that 10% of American adults favor violence against Trump compared to 6% of adults that favor violence on behalf of Trump. Now, by and large, studies show that political violence is committed more by right-wing actors. Now, this comes from data collected by the University of Maryland and the U.S. Department of Justice. I'm Will Keneally with this reality check.
And coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington has your latest storm track.
Milwaukee hosts the Republican National Convention, and News 3 Now brings you team coverage as Battleground Wisconsin grabs the national spotlight. Campaign 2024 GOP convention coverage live from Milwaukee, starting Monday on News 3 Now.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello permanent fat removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately. It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
My husband and I finally agreed that we need a new bathtub and shower, so he went right to work on it. I think he's procrastinating.
For a new bathtub or shower, just call 1-800-HANSONS. Installed in as little as 1 day with optional safety features and a no-leak guarantee. Get 50% off installation or no interest and no payments for 1 year. Offer ends soon.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Hi, E.T.
E.T. E.T.
at the Oscars.
E.T. at the Grammys, baby.
E.T. at the Emmys.
E.T. at the SAG Awards. It's E.T. at the Golden Globes.
I can confirm now, you have won. Wow.
Oh, my.
It feels incredible. Give me some of that. Everyone put those glasses up.
Biggest of the biggest. This is where I belong, y'all. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
And we're here together.
We are.
E.T. weeknights at 6:30. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
All right, folks, we're watching thunderstorms pop up over portions of southwestern Wisconsin. This is that initiation that we've been discussing on our social media that would be potentially happening here as we go into the early evening hours. What we're looking at right now is our live Platteville Queen Bee radio Skycam. This is showing one of those thunderstorms, which is actually right behind me. I'm looking at the southwestern portion of this thunderstorm. The rain and if there's any small hail and any vivid lightning would be to the right. And this is the southwestern portion of that storm right now. It's showing a little bit of structure. We're not having any warnings at this point with this cell over near the Platteville area, but it's certainly something that we're keeping an eye on. Here is radar 3000 showing, and this would make sense. That southwestern portion of that cell would be over the Platteville area, and to the north of that would be where the rain and any precipitation is falling along I-80, or Highway 80, excuse me. We have another storm that's trying to get its act together just east of Richland Center, right over the Ithaca area. These storms here are in conversation now with the National Weather Service in Milwaukee and La Crosse and the Storm Prediction Center. There's been some discussion for the past hour and a half or so for a severe weather watch to potentially be issued across southern Wisconsin. Future track showing those scattered thunderstorms popping up over the area this evening with the continuation of thunderstorms perhaps as late late as midnight. Here we go. We see those storms popping up over southern Wisconsin. We all stand the chance of seeing these thunderstorms popping up over the area. Hopefully, we do not see training of storms, meaning areas getting the same storm, or getting storms over and over and over again with the potential for heavy rainfall. And damaging winds would be the primary threats for this evening. Madison, this is your forecast for this evening to plan through here. I think we probably will have some scattered thunderstorms in the area between 7 and 9 p.m. Best chances 10, 11 o'clock, and then we should get some lull in the thunderstorm activity later tonight. The alert day conditions carry on through Monday for the potential for more severe weather on Monday. Right now, we're in the 80s across Dane County, southwestern Wisconsin, mid to upper 80s, but want to make note here. Look at the dew points over southwestern Wisconsin, 77 in Platteville. That's a very, very high dew point. That means there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere for these storms to work with. Future track as we carry through the rest this evening, taking those showers and thunderstorms, especially from the Wisconsin River Valley, Madison, and points to the south, moving it off to the east towards Madison, Juneau, and Watertown. By the time we get into the wee hours of the morning, I do expect that we will have a brief lull. Primary threats this evening, again, heavy rains, damaging winds across the area. Then we turn our attention to Monday, stretching from Platteville to Monroe to Janesville, an enhanced risk of severe weather. All of southern Wisconsin under at least a 2 out of 5 threat for severe thunderstorms. Track those here Monday evening, seeing several lines of thunderstorms move across southern Wisconsin with the potential for a higher end wind event hugging the Wisconsin-Illinois border with possibly a few embedded tornadoes with that line of storms as that races off to the east. All right, good news here though. Once we get past this time frame Monday night, after that last line of thunderstorms, the hot, humid air, the severe weather threat should end across southern Wisconsin. Look at by Tuesday, highs in the lower 80s. Then we're in the 70s as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A gorgeous, dry stretch of weather ahead of southern Wisconsin after alert day conditions tonight, lasting into Monday. We'll be right back.
You may come from a plug family, and I come from a no-plug family, but one day, our great families will come together in marriage.
There's an electrified vehicle for everyone to fall in love with. Get offers on select models at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get special offers on select Lexus ES models.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
Solid core composite frame, triple pane windows.
From Scott the Window Guy at AHT Wisconsin Window.
I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core composite frame triple pane window is the most energy efficient window made for Wisconsin, no matter what the season. Get free installation on any door or window purchase at scottthewindowguy.com.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Madison Magazine's Summer Restaurant Week is here. Over 40 restaurants will showcase 3-course meals from $30. Plus, enjoy the perfect pairings with wine and more from Delicato Family Wines and Frederick Wildman & Sons. Check our online guide on MadisonMagazine.com to see which places offer takeout and dine-in. Save the dates, July 21st through 26th. Madison Magazine's Summer Restaurant Week, where good times and great meals come together. Presenting sponsor, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Coal Fund, and supporting sponsor, Roth Cheese.
Need help with a consumer issue? Contact News 3 Now's Call for Action.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington with the severe weather update. Let's go straight to our live Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam. We have what is very classic supercell structure developing over the Platteville area at this point in time. I've chased many storms and have worked in Kansas, and this is about as classic as you get, where you have what's called striations and rotation. It's very possible we could be looking at a funnel cloud or at least a wall cloud developing near the Platteville area right now. So if you were tuning in near Platteville, there is no warning right now with this cell in southern Grant County, but I'm passing along this image from our Queen Bee Radio Skycam to our National Weather Service entities in both Milwaukee and in La Crosse. Platteville is a little bit further away from some of our radar sites, so sometimes it's a little bit more difficult for radar to discern if there is lower level rotation in this cell. So I'm going to actually go to our radar 3000 to give you folks an update to see if we see any rotation in that cell right now. This would be near the Platteville area. We'll put our wind tracker tool on things here. If there is any rotation, it would be near the Platteville area. I'm not seeing strong suspect of that in our wind tracker tool right now, but our Queen Bee radio Skycam is showing at this point in time what looks to be some sort of structure. I'm going to step actually over here so you can see this a little bit behind me, some sort of structure, some potential for lowering. This may be potentially a funnel or a wall cloud at this point in time. I will be keeping a close eye on this across southern Grant County, and I'm passing this information again off to the National Weather Service. I think we take things over to Andrew with sports until I have an additional update.
Well, Kelly was just a few shots back, and Strick was in good shape, but here on 9, this was a sign of bad things to come. He misses the putt and settles for a bogey. He'd end up triple bogeying on 14 and finished his round, shooting 3 over on the day. He'd fall all the way back to a 4th place finish in the tournament. And Jerry Kelly capitalized on that. Here he is on 11, looking for a birdie putt for himself, and he would get it to go. Kelly shoots 1 under on the day, moves to 7 under for the tournament, and finishes all the way up in 3rd place. Out to Lake Tahoe for the final round of the American Century Championship, the premier celebrity golf tournament. And Joe Pavelski was right in the mix, entered the final round in 2nd place. Here he is on 15, dialed all the way in, gets the birdie putt to go, and really played a great round, but the former Badger just didn't have quite enough in the tank. Marty Fish goes on to win it, and Pavelski finishes 2nd. Not bad for a hockey player. Prior to this homestand, the Brewers hadn't lost a series at home since April, but yesterday's loss spelled 2 straight. That would mean they'd look to avoid getting swept by the Nationals today in their last game before the All-Star break. And this one was the Willy Adames show. Scoreless game in the bottom of the 1st, and he would rip one to right and get a ground rule double that you'll see here in just a second. Adames with an outside pitch, stretches it just about over the wall and gets some help with a bounce. It would bring in Christian Yelich to score, putting the Brewers on the board. And then in the 4th, 2 on for Adames, and he does it again. This time it's a single, but it would still score a run, and by this point, the Brewers were up big, 7-2, but Big Willie wasn't done yet. The bottom of the 8th, and he puts some finishing touches on it. A no-doubt home run, and the Brewers head to the break with a 9-3 win on the back of a 4-hit, 4 RBI day from Willy Adames that his teammates made sure he wouldn't forget about. And certainly a crazy and exciting day in many ways, but anytime you can kind of think about sports for a minute, I think it kind of clears people's minds, but a lot going on today.
I mean, Willy Adames, I mean, the team as a whole, you know, we'll just focus on the positives from today, but just the team as a whole, I mean, they could have had maybe even a couple more All-Stars than they already had.
Yeah.
Willy Adames in particular has had some stretches where he's looked really good. And no surprise that he had a day like today.
No kidding, and it probably should have been an all-star maybe if you're Willy Adames, but the Brewers find themselves 4.5 games up on the St. Louis Cardinals, who have made quite the push to try to make their way back into that NL Central race.
That's fine.
And the Brewers find themselves, again, 4.5 games up. It's a pretty comfortable place to be when you're heading into that Midsummer Classic.
Which says something in particular, seeing that they have been on a bit of a slump over the past, 3 weeks or so. But, I mean, just thinking about all the I wouldn't say controversy, but news that they had this offseason, seeing how well they played so far this year has been really cool to see.
A couple other pieces for them. They DFA'd Dallas Keuchel today. That was kind of an interesting move, but we'll get over to weather.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, we got a lot of stuff going on, busy few days, but what's going on at this moment?
Right, let's go to our Queen Bee Radio Skycam if we can still show that. This is a supercell thunderstorm with the potential for some lowering. I am passing this along to the National Weather Service. A severe weather watch is likely to be issued for southern Wisconsin. We will be tracking this storm and others this evening.
All right, well, sounds good, Alex. We'll have all that coverage just here coming up.